Yeah, the recruiting would be, strong 22 showing, 14th in the country. Not off to the best start. If you look at the rankings and lock in on the rankings, 12 hard commits, 5 taken here in the month of July, including Anthony Brown, the wide receiver from the Buckeye State.
Yeah, there's been a lot. I just had a post last week at Last Word kind of about Kentucky's recruiting for 2023. There's been a lot made here, whether it's right or not. Athletics director Mitch Barnhart gets blamed for everything, whether it's his fault or not. Kentucky hasn't been as gung-ho on the whole NIL deal as a lot of their SEC counterparts. And some people think it's cost them some recruits or whatever. But, they're just being, I think, more cautious, than what some other schools are. But like I said, a couple weeks ago, Kentucky was down in the 70s as far as recruiting. And then, Vince Marrow and the guys just, got out and just got some great players. And like I said, Anthony Brown, the one we just mentioned, he's the, Kentucky, Vince Marrow has his pipeline to Ohio. And he's another great player out of the state of Ohio. He's the number one top-rated wide receiver in the state of Ohio. And, that's a guy who they think can come in, and play right away. And got to throw this out here. He's the nephew of John Legend. So the EGOT winner, the Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony. So, he got on Twitter and commented about his nephew, committing, to Kentucky. And then automatically somebody, was like, hey, are we going to see you at UK games this year? Or, how about a pregame concert or post, something like that. And he's just kind of like, LOL, we'll see, that kind of thing. But yeah, so they've gone, I said they're 48th or 47th, depending on what ratings you look at. And like I said, obviously that's not where Kentucky and Stoops has been recently, but like I said, it's still early. Like I said, Brown is a great player. Avery Stewart is a guy that they think he's one of the top-rated players out of Alabama. Kentucky's recently gone in and had a lot of success in the state of Alabama. I'm bringing in players, and he's another one. He's a highly rated safety. Like I said, a player they think he can come in, and play right away for them. And then another player, Kobe Keenum, who's also from Alabama. He instantly endeared himself to UK fans. A lot of people thought he was a lock to come to Louisville, and when he announced for Kentucky, and then did the L's down, which drives Louisville fans crazy, and automatically endeared him to the Big Blue Nation. So those are a couple guys, and they picked up another receiver from Pleasure Ridge Park in Louisville, Kentucky. He's not. It's let me find his Jacob Dixon. He's not listed on. He's not ranked on any recruiting service, which seems kind of odd. So his, he has no stars, no rating. So I guess that kind of brings down the list a little bit. But obviously Kentucky wouldn't be recruiting him if they didn't think, if they didn't see something and didn't think he could play. And one more name to mention, Khalifa Keith, another guy from Birmingham. He's from Birmingham, Alabama. A running back. He's a guy that they think can, you think about, Rodriguez. This is Rodriguez's last year, Cavassier Smokes, upperclassmen. They have a lot of upperclassmen with the running back core. They think he's a guy who can come in. He's 6'2", 215. He's a guy they think they can come in and get minutes, get snaps right away. So, if we've learned nothing, we never count out Mark Stoops, Vince Marrow, those guys in the recruiting circle. They're like 48th right now, but they're not going to finish. They won't finish that way, when the cycle ends, next year. So
Khalifa Keith ran for 1,800 yards, almost 1,900 yards last year.
Like 27 touchdowns.
Season, 27 touchdowns, 10 yards per carry, 28 touchdowns rushing, 1 receiving. So big, obviously productive player who didn't play much the previous season. So he was a breakout player at his high school. 28 touchdowns, almost 2,000 yards rushing. for Kalitha Keith. I was looking for some stats on Anthony Brown as well. Wasn't able to come up with anything there, but number 1 rated player.
I found him somewhere because it was in the story that I wrote, but he had I think he had close to 1,000 yards receiving and like 9 or 10 touchdowns last year, and his team went to the whatever the highest class is in Ohio. They made it to the state championship game. They didn't win, but they he was a big reason why they got there. As I said, Vince Marrow, what he's done with the state of Oklahoma. They haven't hit Oklahoma yet for recruiting. I don't know why I said Oklahoma. But what he's done with that pipeline from Ohio to Kentucky, there's so many great players in Ohio, and Kentucky's gone in and be able to get, a lot of those guys out and down here, and have had great success with them. So.
All right. Kevin McGuffey, last word on college football, and get on over to his work there. Bowl projections are coming in a few weeks. And, of course, follow him on Twitter at Kevin McGuffey. Kevin, appreciate you stopping by as always. And we'll have to catch you before the season starts.
Sounds great. Thank you for having me on again. As always, Mark, I really appreciate it. And, look forward to it. Look forward to talking some more football because it's hard to believe it's almost here. It's like 6 weeks away or something. It's crazy.